Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be part 30 of our Snowflake Zero to Hero series. We are going to talk about the crucial aspects of data management in today's world, which is data sharing. How many of you have actually shared the files on Google Drive or the Dropbox with your colleagues or friends? I'm sure hundreds of times. Like if you're going to ask me any of the PPT, and whenever you guys are reaching out to me, I'm just saying that now ping me your email address and share the document on that Google Drive. Well, in the world of data warehousing, sharing data is just as important, but it requires a lot of more security and the governance. So that's where the Snowflake secure data sharing comes. And in this video, we will be exploring what data sharing is, how it works, how we are going to implement by step in it. What is provider, what is consumer, what will be the cost associated with data sharing, who will be bearing that cost, it's a provider or a consumer. And in the end, we will be creating everything best we will be performing these exercises step by step by creating a reader account. So the secure data sharing in Snowflake is allow you to share some selected objects in a database toward accounts in like to your from your account to another Snowflake account. It can be any account. It can be someone account within the cloud, within the region, and the cross cloud, cross region. However, for the cross cloud and the cross region, direct share doesn't work. We have to go for listing, or we have to go for listing and the replications. But here we will be talking about the direct share only, and so we just need to focus on that. Listing, share, and market exchange. There are some other things which we will be talking about in the next videos. Once you get confident into this data sharing, then we will be going for replication and listing. So what we can share in the Snowflake secure data share? I can share my database, my tables, my dynamic table, external table, views, but view should be secure. It can be secure normal view, it can be secure metalized view. So all database objects shared between accounts are read only. This is one of the important point, that if I'm going to share any of the data, any of the table with a person who is a consumer or with some different account, then they cannot make any DML. They cannot perform any modifications. Those are the read only objects. Such like if you might have seen it, that whenever we create a Snowflake account, we get two databases. One is Snowflake and second is the Snowflake sample data. So these are the shared. These are shared with us. But how we gonna share this with others? We will be performing these exercises. How actually data sharing works? So in this, no actual data is being transferred or copied between the accounts. So if there is an account A and that person want to share the data to account B, then the data will not be copied from A to B. In this, it used the Snowflake services and metadata system to share that data. So the shared data does not take any storage cost in the consumer's account. They are not going to take any storage charges from the consumer. Only and only the computing power, means the compute power will be required only when they are going to use it to query that data. Since no data is copied, so setting up secure data sharing is quick and consumer can access the shared data almost instantly. Okay, so one point is very clear, that consumer will be bearing only and only the compute cost. And this consumer, I mean by if a person where we are sharing with a different account. However, one very important point, if you are sharing with any reader account, in that case the compute and storage cost both bared by the provider. Okay, so provider create a share of database in their account and grant access to the specific object. Then consumer is going to create a read-only database from the shared object in his workspace or in his environment. Before creating this exercise, before implementing all these exercises, you need to know few other terms, which is share, provider, and the consumer. Now, I'm sure you must be aware of the what is provider, what is consumer. Obviously, who is going to provide the data, who is going to give something to you, that is provider. And if you are going to use it, consume it, then you are a consumer. So in Snowflake, a provider is an account that going to create and share data with other accounts, and the provider account will be bearing the storage cost. Second thing, they can share this data with multiple accounts through shares, listings, or data exchange. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, that we have listing, we have replications, and the data exchanges option also. In fact, you can publish your data to the marketplace, but for that, you should have your you should add credit card or something. You should have an acting account, not just a trial account. Second, we have a consumer. So a data consumer is any account which is going to use that data, or which is going to create a database from that share account, or that share which is available by the provider, and going to query or going to perform the analysis on that shared object. But what is share? A share in Snowflake is basically an object which contains all the information which needs to share a database. It allows data provider to grant access to specific database objects like database, like tables or views, and you can choose which account can consume that shared data. So far we have understood that what is data sharing, what objects we can share, who will be how it works, who will be charged for storage, and who will be charged for compute, what is provider, what is consumer, and what is share. There is one more term which is a reader account. The reason why why I'm focusing on the reader account is because in this exercise I am going to create a reader account. If you have a real time scenario where your account is AWS US region, and then the same US West one, and then your friend also, he is in the same region and he wants that I want that data, then you can create a direct share. But if he's in the Azure, you are in the AWS, then first you need to perform a replication. So I'm going to do it with the help of reader account and just creating another account at the runtime in front of you guys. And then we will be sharing this data with him. And then we will be performing whether I'm able to do some modifications or not, and how I will be creating a database from that shared objects and everything. Okay, so let's just do it very quick. And I'm going into the Snowflake now. So you just need to come into the home page, and once you come over here, you need to come into the data products. Into the data products, we have this marketplace, internal marketplace. So you see, this is the data. This is actually shared by someone else, like by some other providers. If you want to do it, so you will be coming to the private sharing. Now this private sharing option, as you're going to, like as I mentioned earlier, this whenever we are going to create an account, we see the Snowflake account users and the sample data. These all are shared by the Snowflake with us. But if you will look at share by your account, it's nothing, because I haven't performed or you haven't performed anything. The data that has been shared by your account will appear here, which we haven't done anything, right? So now the first thing is I'm going to create a share, which is a shared object, and I'm getting four options: create a direct share, publish to Snowflake Marketplace, publish to specified consumer. So if you have a list of consumer already that, okay, these many people are going to consume it, then you can use it. So I'm going to click on, if I'm going to show publish to Snowflake Marketplace, and then you will see it is going to open a provider studio, and here anyone on the marketplace is disabled. So even though I try to create a publish to Snowflake Marketplace, but it is disabled for me. And if I'm going to click on publish to specified consumer, then also it is going to open the same window for me. So here we are creating a listing, and that I will be talking about in the next video. The only point was to show you here is that if you are going, why this is locked, because this is my trial version, and if we have to unlock all these things, you have to switch to the into the active, or basically kind of organization edition. In short, you have to add your credit card, you have to add your billing information. I'm going to cancel it now. I'm coming into the private sharing only and click on share and create a direct share. In this direct share, you will be asked to choose the data which you want to share with any consumers. You're going to click on that, and here you can select any of the database or something. So we have this YouTube learning. If I come over here, this is my database, and which all objects you want to select. Let's say we do have all these 14 tables that I want to share, and there is only one secure view. You can see that there can be other views also, but those are not available. Only secure views are coming. And then if you want to select something else from the other databases, like this is from same structure, I'm going to take these three tables. Then, and it's totally depend, because like if you want to share some other objects, that also will be listed over here. Okay, and I am going to click on done. Now this is the identifier, however this is something which you can rename. So it is going to be YouTube Snowflake data sharing, and I'm going to write tutorial. Now the description is, I am sharing this data for my personal exercise. Now next is we have add account in your reason by name. So if I'm going to write any accounts which is in your reason, which is in my reason already, so I have to give an account identifier. And to get this account identifier, if you have already in your reason name, you can simply switch over here and connect a tool to a Snowflake, and you can pass this account identifier. But we don't have any other account. This is my same account. So in that scenario, first I have to create a reader account. Now I'll come into the private sharing in the same option. This actually took me to the next window, but if you will look at it, this is the same like coming into the data product and all. So you're going to click on this reader account, but this reader account is going to take you to another link, which is basically going to take you into the admin side, and into the admin there is an account. Now here we do not have a reader account. Here we do not have any reader account, and which we will be creating over here. So click on this plus reader account. Make sure you have the permissions. I'm doing this account admin. If you are going to use any other like custom defined role, then you won't be having this permissions. Okay. So okay, one more thing. Basically, in Snowflake reader account, which is previously known as read only account, that allow provider to share data with consumer who are not Snowflake customers, just or not even want to switch to the customer, but you are trying to enable them to query data without requiring a full Snowflake account. So suppose, let's take one example, that if you have let's say you are running one IT firm and you want to attract more customers, and they are saying they are in the basically in discovery that okay, which tool we should use, and you are telling them that hey, why don't you just go for the Snowflake is good. You say that okay, I want you to access this data, and you can basically access the data but without being a Snowflake customer, and then you can probably decide whether you should go for Snowflake, or if you're liking the UI and other. So in that case, you're going to create this reader account for that customer and can share the data, and then he can just query it. If you're going to like it, you got the deal. So I'll click on this plus reader account, and here you will look at it. It's going to be created into the same reason. It's going to be created in the same reason, same edition, and in the same cloud in which you have your main account. So the account name is going to be my reader read account, something like that. We can name it. This is for my practice. And here username you have to create it, and the password. So the username we can create it as a Snowflake. Oh, user cannot be Snowflake, then we can say it's no user. And the password I'm going to take, and now I'm going to click on create account. When I'm going to click on create account, this gonna take couple of minutes, maybe like to activate this account. You can see this is read account which is in pending. The locator URL and the locator, it's gonna take some time. You still have this pin icon is disabled, so it may take couple of like maybe like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or I don't know, like, but yeah, it should not take much time. Okay, yeah, you can see that this is done. Now you're going to copy this locator URL. You're going to copy that. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so this locator URL is copied. Now I'm going in incognito window, and let me open that. Okay, so maybe this is gonna take some more time. It happens, it's actually. Okay, we can just refresh it. Yeah, you see that? So it was actually creating in the background. So that's why it took some time, but we have the same process, the snow user, and here we can create Snowflake, and that's how we're gonna create, and we are going to log into it. Now you see here, the Snow user is sysadmin and it's going to get all these things, but with some limitations. We are not going to talk about that obviously at this stage now. Okay, so this is now as we done with creation of a reader account. Now let's create a share again. Okay, so I'm gonna click on create a direct share in this plus select data, and here I do have this YouTube learning. Into the raw layer, I'm going to click select on 14 tables and these three tables, and this is secure view. So I'm going to use this one. The reason why, because we were getting one error. If I'm going to use this view, it is actually referencing to the another database. It is actually referring to the Snowflake sample data. So for that, I have created another secure view, and this is just referring to the same table, like one table within the same database. Now, if you look at it, the 14 table is selected, one view is selected, and the three tables from a different schema is also selected. I'm going to click on done, and the name is going to be secured here exercise. And this is anything, this is for practice. And here I'm going to select a reader account. So this is going to be my reader account. Whichever you have created, you just need to give the locator of that and going to click on create share. You can see this 18 tables and the views you are sharing in this share, and once you click on the share, now this data successfully shared. So that here you can add few more consumers, maybe some reader account or some account within your regions, and then you can even edit it and create edit. Like if you're gonna click on edit, then you can select or change database, or you can do some other things, which is fine. Like you can play with that once you get some more understanding, once you get the good clarity on it. Now this is something on a provider side. I am the provider. Now we will be going to the consumer, means to the reader account, and we'll see how he can install and he can get all these things. So if you come once you come into this private sharing in your account, you see there are the two direct share options, which is shared with you. That means if I will go to the consumer side and come into the same window, then I should also see something. Let's do that. So this is my reader account. When I come into the data products, I came into the private sharing, and here I have only Snowflake account uses. I don't have the share which basically shared by the another account. The reason why, because you are into the sysadmin, you have to choose your account admin. Once you come over here, then you can see there is a YouTube Learning Snowflake Secure Share exercise, which is basically for practice. We have shared by the provider account. So I'm going to click on this get data, and this is going to create a database in you, and you can create any of the database of your name. This is YouTube Learning Secure Snowflake Secure Share exercise maybe on this. And in addition of the account admin, you if you want, the sysadmin can also access it, or security admin can access it. You can copy it and click on the get data. Once you click on this get data exercise and click on done, now you need to go into the data side, and that in the databases you will be seeing two databases. One is Snowflake and another is YouTube Learning. So we don't have we have the Snowflake uh, given by the Snowflake side only, and this is what we have shared. And now this is something which we can we can test it whether the all the data which I shared from there is available or not. So if I come over here and click on that schema, I can see the raw layer and the semi-structure schema, which is fine. If I come to this tables, I should see the 14 tables, which is great. And I should see the one view, VW customer. And let me see whether can I see the definitions or not. So I can see only the data preview, but still no warehouse available. So even if I want to access these things, I wanted to access or query this data. So the first thing as an admin, I need to create a warehouse. No warehouse. So I'll go into the warehouse section, click on the warehouse part. And here, this is going to be my compute machine. I'm going to use this extra small only, click on create warehouse. And now I'll go back to the data pane, and here you can look at this data. So I'm going to create a worksheet to open that and to validate the data, or to just check it that yes, am I or able to get this or not. So I'll select this one, click on the raw layer, and then let me run the command show tables. Yep, which is fine. Let me run a command like select star from AWS customer load. So there is no active warehouse. You know what to do now. You're going to click on this compute machine warehouse. Yes, this is, it started coming from these new accounts. You can do that, select start from AWS customer load. So this is something which you can perform. Now, can I done some delete or from AWS customer load? Can I do that? Operation is not supported in reader account. Can I truncate? Insufficient privilege to operate on table AWS customer load. So in simple things, like you can not only you can only and only run some select provisions, like if you wanted to go for insert, delete, or other things which is not available in the reader account. So no data modifications like insert, update, merge statement, you cannot run it. You cannot even execute a copy into command. You cannot create stages and create pipes. Some other things like data metric functions and other things you cannot perform in your reader account. Okay. So, as a provider, whatever query he is executing on this account, and for long this warehouse is active, it will be consumed by it. Sorry, it will be consumed by reader account, but will be paid by the provider. So you as a provider will not only pay about the storage cost, but also the compute cost. And here in this, you can come into the data and into the Snowflake. There we have some views like a reader account user schema. I guess I do have. We have reader account. Yes, this is a reader account uses, and here you can inform. You can just check some data and all, the login history and all. Let's just see that whether we do have any data or not. Because if you want to look at the query history of it, then we can just click on this data preview. That also may take some time to reflect the correct data, or to basically, because there is some latency in it. Now, one more thing, You being an provider, you will be having one question in your mind, that how can we actually restrict him from using extra credits. For that, we will be creating resource monitor, and that resource monitor we are going to cover into the next video, that how we can restrict anyone from consuming more than 50 credits or 100 credits. So in simple word, you are just going to give a limit of the credits, and these readers accounts or the employees cannot expend beyond that. So I hope you have got a complete understanding about it, that what are the reader account, how you are going to select, how you are going to create a reader account, how what is data sharing, what is provider, what is the consumer, how you are going to implement this step by step, what are the various ways to share your data. One is data sharing, listing, marketplace, and there is another thing is replications, which we will be covering in the next parts. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If yes, then please like it and share with your friends and subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.